Please welcome John Speck, musician and avionics and flight controls lead for NASA Kennedy Space Center.
Hello. When I was very young, I lived in Michigan growing up. I lived in Battle Creek, Michigan. That's where Kellogg's makes their cereal. There was an amazing thing in the music industry that was going on at the time. It was called Beatlemania. And it didn't really affect me too much, but so as I was very, very young at the time. But I remember going to school, and my teacher, who was what at the time I thought was maybe about 105 years old, she brings the class to the front. She says, I have an announcement to make. And we all think, well, great, we're getting out of school early or something like that. And she proceeds to tell us she saw the Beatles at Shea Stadium over the weekend. And she tells us about the screaming kids and the limos and the police. And she was like this giddy 16-year-old teenager reading a Beat magazine. And I thought, wow, this music really has an effect on people. So I go home and I tell my parents about this. And pretty soon we have a 45 record player, and my brother Jim and I are playing these 45, these Beatles songs, you know, Twist and Shout, Please Please Me. But we needed guitars because we're rock stars, obviously. So we told our parents, we said, we need guitars. And they said, well, sure, no problem. So they go upstairs and they come back downstairs and they brought us our very first guitars. And they were wooden tennis rackets. And they were very hard to tune, and they're really hard on your fingers, but we really didn't care because we just put straps on them, and we're just total rock stars. And it was, I just remember that feeling in my hand. It was so great. But then one day, the music stops. And this is not a Buddy Holly story. This is where I start to cleverly inject engineering into the story. The record player actually breaks. I'm not really sure exactly what all broke, but I'm pretty sure the stylus came undone or the wires. It doesn't really matter. But my mom, in her great Michigan accent, she goes, well, John, I guess you have the knack. And I don't even know what the knack is. All I know is I fix things. So fast forward, move to Dayton, Ohio, get real guitars, take lessons, learn how to play in other groups, and continue to fix things, of course. And then go off to college and study electrical engineering. And then I really started to play with other musicians. So basically doing music at night and then engineering by day, and that seemed to work out very good. And I played with a lot of really great musicians. And I thought, well, maybe this is something that I want to do. But then there were really three things that changed my mind. One was I was an extremely poor college student, and I was very tired of that. The next was all of my engineering buddies, they're all graduating, and they're getting real JOBs. And then my musician friends, as great as they are, and as good as they were basically sitting around waiting for the next GIG. And so I went with the real JOB. And I've never regretted it. And now I'm playing with a group of other engineers, and they all have the knack. And we basically play music at night and launch rockets by day. And that, my friend, is basically how music has affected my engineering, or my engineering is affected by my music. So now, I'm going to give you a little bit of innovation, inspiration, or the insanity of writing a song, at least for me, and I'll tell you a little bit about it. I took a 20-hour train ride up to Washington, D.C. to visit my daughter, Emily, and I thought, what a great opportunity to write a train song, because there's so many great train songs. And this is a perfect opportunity to do that, and this was working out really well. I got on the train and I found some music that I like, and I always find that that's the easy part, and I actually wrote a train verse, and I thought, this is a rockin' train song. So, well, 10 hours later, I'm still on the train, and I'm tired, and I'm wired, and I can't sleep, and I have this dark thought in my head, and I go, hey, I don't think my wife likes me as much as anymore. I don't think she thinks I'm as hot as I used to be. So then I write this dark verse, and I go, this is no longer a train song, this is a dark song. Anyway, 15 hours later, I get some sleep. I wake up and I go, I'm the stupidest person. I wouldn't last a day without my wife. She's an amazing person. I don't even see how she puts up with me. So then I write this, well, a romantic part of the song. And then finally, after almost 20 hours, I said, it's just time to get off of the train. And I say, it's just time to say goodnight. So that's really the name of the song is called Just Say Goodnight. And And I find with any new song, it's very rough around the edges because it's brand new, but I know you guys are all a little rough around the edges too, so I thought I'd give it a go. Anyway. 1, 2, 3, 4. Riding on the night train into the dark, riding on the night train into the light of the day. Well, it's hard to keep that spark and turn it into a flame. I don't see that smile, that light in your eyes. I don't see that spring in your step when you reach for my hand. It's hard to keep that spark and turn it into a flame. It's time to say goodnight. Well, it's time to say goodnight. I love you more than water and the sunshine. I love you more than words and my hands can possibly play. Well, it's hard to keep that spark and turn it into a flame. It's hard to keep that spark and turn it into a flame. Time to say goodnight. Time to say goodnight. Time to say goodnight. Thank you all very much. I appreciate it.